The envelope feels wrong the moment I pull it from the pile of mail, heavy, creamy cardstock. Gold embossing that gleams under the kitchen light. It doesn't have my name on it, only resident above my street address, but curiosity makes me slide a finger under the flap anyway. The invitation inside is elegant. The kind you frame or tuck into a scrapbook. Swirling calligraphy sprawls across thick paper. The Bennett family joyfully invites you to celebrate the marriage of Serena Bennett and Thomas Caldwell at 40 to Driftwood Lane, Sandpiper Beach. I stare at the words until they blur my pulse. Stutters, 40 to Driftwood Lane, my address, my house. I read it again, slower this time. As if comprehension depends on pace, no mistake. My home is listed as the venue. The envelope slips from my hand and lands on the counter with a soft slap. For a moment, I stand motionless, listening to the low hum of the refrigerator. The distant cry of gulls outside. My body feels foreign. Heavy, as though gravity just doubled. Automatically, I shuffle through the rest of the stack. More invitations, all identical, each addressed to different relatives scattered across the state. Cousins, aunts, people I haven't spoken to in years. By the time I finish, 6 perfect envelopes fan across my counter like a dealer laying out cards in a losing hand. I whisper aloud, though no one is here to hear it. They didn't? But of course they did. My phone is in my hand before the thought fully forms. I type in the hashtag printed in gold ink at the bottom of the invitation, hashtag Bennett Beach Wedding. Instagram explodes with proof. There's Serena, my younger sister, beaming on my porch. Behind her, my carefully painted seafoam shutters serve as a backdrop for engagement photos. The caption reads, "Final walk throughout the venue. So blessed my sister offered her beautiful home." I scroll further, my backyard transformed with mock-up seating charts, digital renderings of floral arches, and comments from family members. Rain is so generous. What a dream spot for a wedding. This is going to be the event of the year. A date is set. Guest list, 150 confirmed. The words repeat in my mind like an alarm I can't silence. 150 strangers at my house without anyone asking if I agreed. I sink into a kitchen chair, the wood hard beneath me, grounding me. I press the invitation flat against the table, staring at the script that mocks me with its confidence. My house, my sanctuary, reduced to a bullet point on someone else's Pinterest board. I think of the nights I worked double shifts, the years of saving, the sacrifices that bought me that beach house key, the first moment I unlocked the front door, standing in the salty air, promising myself this was mine, my piece of paradise. And now my family has given it away. Without even asking if I was okay with it. The invitation still lies on the kitchen table, an accusation in gold ink. I can't look at it anymore, so I shove it back into its envelope and push it aside. But the unease doesn't leave. It swells, spreading like a tide. I open the group chat on my phone, the family forever thread that's supposed to keep us all connected. The last message I see is from Mom, a week ago, a generic hope everyone's doing well. Nothing about Serena's wedding, nothing about my house. That feels wrong. To quiet. I scroll back further. The thread skips from trivial updates about Dad's doctor appointment to photos of Serena trying on dresses, then silence. Gaps that don't make sense. It's like I'm holding a book with torn out chapters. A thought flickers. Sharp and unwelcome. Maybe there's another chat. One without me in it. The possibility makes my skin prickle. I switch apps, fingers moving faster now. Hunting, Instagram again. Serena's profile is a goldmine of clues I never noticed before. Her bio even has the date, hashtag Bennett Beach Wedding, 09/12, and their photo after photo, tagged by cousins and aunts, all gushing about the venue. My venue. One picture stops me cold. Aunt Linda grinning beside my garden fence, holding a champagne glass, the caption, "Walk through success. Can't wait for the big day. Thank you to our wonderful hosts." Hosts, plural, but not me. I click deeper, tracing comments like breadcrumbs. Someone mentions a planning brunch. Another posts a selfie inside my living room, with Serena's friends posing on my sofa, champagne flutes raised high. The caption, "Rain was so sweet to let us use the space for planning." I wasn't even there. I hadn't even known. My chest tightens. I leave the app and pull up email. Maybe there's something official, some paper trail that explains this. Insanity. I type Serena's name into the search bar. Dozens of results appear. Family updates, forwarded memes, old vacation photos. But near the top is one subject line that freezes me in place. Wedding coordination. Venue confirmed, Driftwood House. It's from my mother, dated 3 months ago. My hands shake as I open it. The email is short, efficient. Mom writing to Serena's fiancé, Thomas, "Rain's place is perfect. She won't mind its family. I'll handle her. Let's move forward with the deposit for catering. She'll handle me like I'm an obstacle, like my consent is a box to check later, if at all." I sit back, staring at the screen, my throat feels raw, my heart pounding in my ears. This isn't a misunderstanding, this isn't forgetfulness. It's a decision, made without me, maintained for months. And suddenly, everything clicks into place, the missing chat threads, the radio silence. In Family Forever, the reason no one mentioned dates when I called last week. They didn't forget to ask, they never intended to. The phone feels heavier than usual when I finally dial Mom's number. My thumb hovers over the screen, hesitation gnawing at me. Part of me still hopes there's an explanation, a clerical mistake. A misprint, anything but what it looks like. She answers on the second ring. Rain, sweetheart, how are you? Her voice is bright, cheerful. Practiced. I grip the phone tighter. I just got some interesting mail, I say. Wedding invitations, with my house listed as the venue. A beat of silence, too long, then a laugh. Oh, that? You're making it sound so dramatic. We didn't want to bother you with the details, that's all. Details. My voice rises. Sharper than I intended. 150. People are supposed to show up here in 2 weeks. My address is on every invitation, Mom. Without even asking me, her tone softens, syrupy and patronizing. Rain, honey. You've always had such a flair for exaggerating. We knew you'd say yes. You've got that big house all to yourself. What's the harm in sharing it for one day? My stomach twists. One day, do you have any idea what goes into hosting a wedding? The planning, the prep, the damage. The noise. She cuts me off, sharper now. Rain, you're being selfish. This is your sister's wedding, her once-in-a-lifetime day. And you're really going to make it about yourself. The words hit like a slap. I pull the phone from my ear for a second, staring at it like it might bite me. Selfish. The word echoes, old and familiar, dragged from a childhood of being the responsible one, the cautious one. The one who never wanted to share nicely when it meant giving up everything. I never agreed to this, I say, my voice shaking. You can't just decide my house is a venue because it's convenient. Enough. Mom's voice hardens. An edge of steel now. Your sister deserves this. The whole family is excited. Do you want to be the one to ruin it? To disappoint Serena? To embarrass us in front of everyone? I almost laugh, bitter and sharp. Embarrass them, as if I'm the one who crossed the line. But before I can answer, her tone flips again, back to sugary sweet. You'll see, darling, once the music starts and everyone's smiling. You'll realize this is a blessing, a chance to give back to your family. Don't be difficult. Difficult, selfish, exaggerating. The words stack like bricks, boxing me in. My throat burns, my chest tight. I manage only a whisper before hanging up. You never even asked. The line goes dead. I set the phone on the counter with trembling fingers. My reflection in the black screen looks pale, hollow-eyed. And for the first time, a new thought slips in, quiet but sharp as glass. If they won't listen, I'll have to show them. The days after that phone call blur together, heavy with silence. Every time my phone buzzes, I half expect it to be an apology, a recognition of how wrong they were, but it never comes. Instead, the buzzes are constant group messages I'm not part of, tagged posts on Instagram that friends forward to me, pitying texts from distant relatives asking if I'm excited for the big day. The wedding machinery is already in motion. On Thursday morning, I find a florist's van idling outside my gate. 2 women in matching polo shirts unload buckets of white roses and hydrangeas. When I step outside in my slippers, the taller one beams at me. Double quotes, hi, delivery for the Bennett wedding. Where should we set these? The words hit me like ice water. They're not even asking if it's the right place, they've been told it is. You shouldn't be here, I say flatly. This is my house. Confusion flickers across her face. She checks her clipboard. This is Driftwood House, right? It says here you approved it. Approved. I almost laugh. Instead, I draw myself taller. Take them back. There's no wedding here. She hesitates, but the steel in my voice works. They reload the van. I watch them drive off. Heart pounding, but for the first time in weeks, a spark of control flares in my chest. By the time I close the front door, my decision is made. If my family insists on treating me like a prop in their fantasy, then I'll stop being passive. No more hoping they'll come to their senses. No more begging to be heard. This is my house. And I'll remind them. That night, I dig through my filing cabinet until I find the heavy manila envelope with the deed. My name, printed bold across the top, dated, notarized, undeniable, mine. I snap photos, upload them to a secure drive, email copies to myself, insurance. Then I make calls. Locksmith first. By Saturday morning, every key my family ever had is useless. New locks, reinforced gate pad. The locksmith asks if I've had a break-in. I almost say yes. Next, a call to the local police station, not an emergency, just an inquiry. I explain the situation, family using my address without permission, a large gathering planned. The officer listens patiently, then tells me exactly What documentation I'll need if it escalates: proof of ownership, evidence of trespassing, screenshots of the invitations. I already have all of it. By the time I hang up, the panic that once felt like drowning has shifted into something else: resolve. They wanted to paint me as selfish, difficult, dramatic. But the truth is simple: this house is mine, and if they won't respect that, then I'll make sure the world sees what happens when someone mistakes generosity for weakness. The morning of the wedding arrives heavy with salt air and storm clouds. I wake early. Not because I want to, but because the sound of car doors and laughter is already drifting up my street. Through the blinds, I see them, guests in pastel dresses and crisp suits, clutching gift bags and cameras. They follow the directions on their glossy invitations straight to my gate, smiling as if they're walking into a fairy tale. Except the fairy tale ends at the padlock I installed last week. I dress slowly, deliberately: jeans, a black t-shirt. Nothing festive. I brew coffee, the bitter scent grounding me. Then I step outside, mug in hand, and lean against the porch railing. The first wave of guests is already confused. They rattle the gate, pulling at the chain, peering through as if I'm part of the attraction. One woman waves brightly. "Hi, we're here for the Bennett wedding." I sip my coffee. "No wedding here." Her smile falters. "But this is the address." She holds up her invitation like it's proof of entry. "That's my address." I say evenly, "But this is my house, and I never agreed to host anything." Murmurs ripple through the crowd. A man in a blue tie mutters about parking. Someone else checks their phone. Confusion curdles into irritation. Then I see her, Serena, gliding down the street in white silk, her hair piled high, a bouquet clutched in her hands. Behind her, Thomas looks pale, clutching his phone like a lifeline. "Rain," she calls, her voice too sweet, too fake. "What are you doing? You're embarrassing us." The words strike like déjà vu: embarrassment, selfishness, difficult. The script they always use. I don't move, I don't raise my voice, I simply hold up the deed. Laminated now, sealed in a plastic sleeve, my name gleams under the gray light. "This is my house. You lied to everyone here, you used my address without permission, and if one more person steps onto this property, I will call the police." They already know what's happening. Gasps ripple through the guests. Someone whispers, "She didn't agree." Others pull out their phones, already recording. Serena's smile cracks, revealing the fury beneath. "You're ruining everything. This is my wedding day." "No," I say quietly, but the sound carries. "You ruined it the moment you decided my life, my home, and my boundaries didn't matter." The silence that follows is sharp, broken only by the restless shuffle of guests who suddenly don't want to be part of this spectacle. One by one, they start to drift back to their cars. Murmurs grow louder, phones keep recording. And Serena, perfect, golden Serena, stands frozen at my gate, bouquet trembling in her grip, her dream unraveling in real time. For the first time since the invitations arrived, I feel something close to peace, not joy, not triumph, just the steady weight of my own power settling back where it belongs. This house is mine, and today, finally, so is my voice. The street is empty by nightfall. The last of the pastel dresses and polished shoes has vanished, leaving only a scattering of petals caught in the gutter. The air is strangely quiet. No music, no laughter, no vows drifting on the wind. I sit on my porch long after sunset, watching the waves in the distance, the gate still locked, the deed still on the table beside me. For the first time in weeks, I'm not holding my breath when my phone buzzes. I already know what's waiting: a dozen missed calls from mom, voicemails to her, voice cracking between fury and pleading. One hisses, "How could you humiliate us like that?" Another whispers, "Please, Rain, this will destroy your sister, fix it." Serena's texts are sharper, venom in every line. "You've ruined me, you've ruined everything." I don't reply, not to her, not to any of them. Instead, I open social media. The story is already spreading: videos of confused guests, my quiet refusal at the gate, Serena shrieking in her gown. The captions are merciless: bride forgot to book the venue, family drama at Driftwood, house sister refuses to be walked over. For once, the narrative isn't written by them. By morning, messages pour in from unexpected places. A cousin I barely know writes, "Good for you, they did the same to me once, different scale, same disrespect." An old friend texts, "Proud of you, boundaries are everything." It's not all support. Some relatives call me heartless. Others insist family is family, as if blood gives them permanent rights to my life. But for the first time, I see those words for what they are: a leash I don't have to wear. I draft one final message in the family forever chat. My hands are steady as I type. What happened yesterday was not my doing, it was the result of lies and entitlement. I will no longer be part of this dynamic where my boundaries mean nothing. If you want a relationship with me, it will be on terms of respect. If not, then this is goodbye. I hit send, then I leave the group. The silence that follows is cleaner, Then any apology could have been dot in the days that follow. I change routines, install cameras, reclaim every corner of my house from the ghost of their plans. I plant rosemary by the porch steps, lavender by the fence new roots. Living proof that this space is mine, not theirs. One evening, I catch my reflection in the kitchen window, not pale, not hollow-eyed, just me, unapologetic, whole, I think. Back to the first moment I saw that invitation with my address scrawled in gold ink, the dread, the disbelief, the suffocating weight of their assumption. And I realized what they tried to take from me was never just a house. It was the right to say no. And now, finally, I've said it.